of the most important things people want an answer to is, am I going to go to jail at my next court date? Usually on a misdemeanor, you're not going to go to jail on your next court date. You're not going to go to jail until you either plead guilty and are sentenced by a judge or are found guilty after a jury trial. Now, let's go through the steps in a typical misdemeanor case. You are either get arrested or are summoned into court. If you're arrested, you'll be in jail and then be brought down before either a court commissioner or a judge. Otherwise, you receive a notice in the mail that says, come to court, and these are the charges against you. At that first court date, before a judge or a court commissioner, you can ask for time to get an attorney. Usually, bail is set. Bail is something that you give in return to secure your freedom and to get out of jail. If they set a signature bond, you just simply sign your name with a promise that you're going to be coming to court at the next court appearances and subsequent court appearances. Generally speaking, if you had been summoned into court, almost always be given a signature bond. In addition to promising that you're going to come to court with a monetary value if you fail to do so, the court can also set conditions of bail, such as that you commit no further violations of the law, you maintain sobriety, you not have contact with people of some sort that they want to keep you away from, and other conditions that are reasonable based upon the facts of the case. Then, once you plead not guilty, you have 10 days to file motions. Motions, usually filed by a lawyer. Things like discovery, where you tell them that you want to get the police reports, the videos, statements of people who say you're guilty of the crime. Where motions to challenge the reason for the stop or the arrest, or you may seek to suppress illegally obtained evidence for one reason or another. Then, if the motions are meritorious, there may be a hearing on the motions, which is an opportunity to either argue why you should get what you're asking for, or if there's a sufficient basis, evidence is produced to show that the government is correct. Then, after that, there is a trial or a plea. At any time, from the time of the initial appearance onward, your lawyer can negotiate with the prosecutor as to what the reasonable outcome should be in your case. Then, there's either at the time of the trial or the guilty plea, you're found guilty. Most of the time, in misdemeanor cases, the plea and sentencing are on the same day, but they don't necessarily have to be. On third offense drunk drivings and subsequents, you're required to go to jail immediately after the plea, so that you want to do the sentencing immediately if you have an agreement, so that you're not just waiting in jail to find out what the outcome is going to be. On all other cases in misdemeanors that are not drunk driving third offenses and subsequents, a person is generally remanded out of court and can come back for the sentencing because bail continues. At sentencing, both sides argue, that is, the prosecution gets to argue as to what he believes the sentence should be. The defense attorney gets to argue to the judge as to what he believes the sentence should be. And you get the right of allocution, meaning you get to say those things that you think the judge ought to know before you are sentenced. Then the judge sentences you based on what he thinks the correct sentence would be. Then, in a misdemeanor, you can, as long as it's arranged ahead of time, have up to 60 days to report to the jail. You can't have more than 60 days, and Whether you report to jail immediately or afterwards is at the discretion of the judge. So remember, you're not going to go to jail until you plead guilty, are found guilty, and usually have been sentenced there by the judge.